Asia Wilson doing what she just did, there's no coming back for her. She should be fined, barred, suspended, something. Because the level of assault Caitlin Clark took, there's no coming back.
You won't believe what we recently learned regarding a Wilson's shoe deal issue.
At the time, I did a little short that wound up getting 1 million views, basically on every platform, as to why Caitlin Clark was the one who got this big, massive Nike deal. But at the same time, there was backlash because Asia Wilson did not have a Nike deal. And people were like, how did Caitlin come in and get it? And Asia is great. Blah. And in a lot of ways, that was a preview for some of the dumbass...
The issue is that we have spent months monitoring this entire controversy around Caitlin Clark's Nike deal. Wilson fans took to social media to complain about how unfair it was that Clark got her own sneaker. The content was really compelling, even though the league MVP seemed to be neglected. But wait for the plot twist. Wilson recently revealed that she has a fixed 2-year contract with Nike.
What Asia Wilson just did was unprecedented. I mean, on so many levels. She's arguably, allegedly, the reason Caitlin Clark was assaulted the entire 2024 basketball.
Wilson knew that while her followers were making fun of Clark and Nike, she was creating her own special sneaker. Isn't the strategy she chose to employ fairly intriguing? She stayed silent and observed from the sidelines as Clark dealt with the unnecessary heat, in keeping with her alleged positive vibes brand. With a single sentence, Wilson could have ended the entire discussion.
If Asia couldn't talk about the shoe, she couldn't talk about the shoe. That's fine, and that's understandable, right? Like that's understandable. But there was also a way to do it that didn't make it seem... Because if I'm reading that, I'm thinking she's saying, yeah, you guys got me, but it's coming, right? Like, you know, we'll get...
Clark, on the other hand, just kept her head down, focused on her performance, and politely answered all of the criticism. This really makes you think about authenticity versus appearance, doesn't it?
I wouldn't want Asia Wilson on my team, or maybe I should turn it around. Since she's Asia Wilson, I wouldn't want to be on Asia Wilson.
While knowing that her special sneaker was being produced, to find that A.A. Wilson was sitting pretty. Over the course of 2 years, her unique sneaker was designed, honed, and released. She let everyone think that Nike had betrayed her by choosing Caitlin Clark first, despite the fact that her suitcase was safe and her moment was guaranteed. That goes beyond just being indifferent, guys. That individual was playing chess, while the others were playing checkers.
Asia Wilson talking about, oh, I've been waiting 2 years for this. Wait, 2 years for this? 2 years for this? 2025, 2023, CC's announced in 2024. Delayed, not denied in 2024. Backlash all 20...
To be honest, you created Caitlin as the antagonist to win over everyone's sympathy. We're talking about letting a beginner put up with online harassment while she just watched it happen. For what reason? Some additional clicks to keep her admirers motivated. Because, trust me, Caitlin's fans have been with Wilson from the start of her WNBA career. And the perfect excuse for them was this shoe crisis.
Be mad at Caitlin Clark. She's getting $28 million. Don't they want sisters to get paid, or they don't want a white girl to get paid first? I think that's...
Those cacophonous voices have abruptly ceased speaking, don't they? As it happens, the real disrespect wasn't directed at Nike. Instead, it originated with Ya and everyone else who let this false narrative get out of control. Caitlin was just trying to broaden the game, but you was creating the appearance that she was the victim in this scenario.
Like, where the hell do we go from here? What Asia Wilson just did was completely unhinged. You knew for 2 years that you had a signature shoe coming out, but yet and still, you played a fake damn agenda about Caitlin Clark getting a $28 million deal, which we still haven't heard the ramifications of your actual deal. At least I haven't heard. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, like, we don't know how much money H.
That would have been sufficient for a single tweet. Hey, don't worry. All I need is my shoe to arrive. The drama would have had a dramatic conclusion. She did, however, let things progress as though she were a criminal seizing chances. She observed the dragging of Caitlin's name.
Years. A 2-year.
The same people who were shouting about injustice are making a hasty effort to change their minds. As we mentioned earlier, this is far more than just shoes, which is the issue. Examine the way Caitlyn is being treated. She appeared to have a target on her back from the minute she joined the WNBA. Instead of praising her for her contributions to the game, many didn't like her.
Why?
Because she brought millions of new individuals to the sport. Because she inspired those who had never tried women's basketball to take an interest in it. After realizing her star power, Nike said, "Because this is where the future is headed."
If you think A'ja Wilson's the best player in the world, that's perfectly fine. That's your opinion. But we all know who has the most impact in the sport. And she's playing in Indiana. She wears number 22.
To set the record straight, Caitlyn didn't steal the show. She made no attempt to cheat. For a while, she earned her place in the league by being so good that she also earned the shoe deal.
Nearly 30 years old, knowingly sending an angry mob towards a 22-year-old player is all.
The absurd thing is that we are all aware of what would occur if the positions were reversed and Caitlyn's admirers were paying you that kind of visit. It would make headlines everywhere. Think pieces, arguments on Twitter, ESPN segments, and more. But Caitlyn, when are you? Crickets. Whole crickets. Not to mention the conflicting claims made by Nike. Isn't the Super Bowl campaign that celebrates female athletes amazing? Their next commercial, which did not feature Caitlyn Clark, was released the very next day.
Nike. Oh my God. Nike. Folks, sometimes it's just
They tried to conceal it with this last-minute voiceover, so we wouldn't notice, but we're not blind. Hurry up. That wasn't an accident, it was a choice. Nike responded, "Hey, we love her money, but let's keep her out of the picture." Or a comparable thing.
Hey, Nike, what the are you thinking?
Go listen to that re-recorded audio if you haven't already. It's obvious that things have evolved.
People think that they added a voiceover. From my experience in editing, I have used this many times with other things. They actually changed it with a.
What on earth causes this to occur? We are talking about someone who has actually changed a game's regulations. The most talked about female athlete in America. Someone whose game statistics are on par with those of the NBA. Thus, what is the reason behind her marginalization? The solution is rather clear. Nothing really appeals to the veterans and the old guard. They are happy to benefit from her achievement. But what if she returned? No, they're not praising Caitlyn Clark. They're just putting up with her. Her success will be exploited by them to boost their numbers. However, where are they when she is attacked? They treat her as an outsider who got lucky rather than as someone who has worked hard for all of her achievements. Isn't it a great way for Nike to look? Doesn't that raise the question of what goes on behind the scenes at Nike? Before we start, if you haven't already, do like and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's go back to our story. Caitlyn Clark is not the one in this situation that is suffering the most. In fact, she is able to tolerate the strain. The real victim is the WNBA itself. If you treat your top players like a problem, you can't expect the league to expand. Every careless comment, pointless argument, and secret attempt to lessen her impact. Because of all of this, the league seems insignificant, insecure, and disengaged from the action right in front of them. The figures speak for themselves. Tickets, sold-out venues, and TV ratings all show that Caitlyn Clark is more than just a famous person. She is quite popular. Some people, meanwhile, seem more interested in disparaging her than in acknowledging that Wilson now wears her signature sneaker. It is a noteworthy event that merits celebration. We must not, however, ignore how this whole problem came to be. Months of meaningless drama, constant insults to Caitlyn, and people making up stories to achieve their own objectives. It revealed something disagreeable. Some participants in this league appear more concerned with maintaining their self-esteem than with furthering the sport, despite all the talk about expanding the game. Then, as though it were the most important event in WNBA history, Sheryl Swoopes is in the spotlight, pushing this moment. The same people who were shouting about injustice are making a hasty effort to change their minds. As we mentioned earlier, this is far more than just shoes, which is the issue. Examine the way Caitlyn is being treated. She appeared to have a target on her back from the minute she joined the WNBA. Instead of praising her for her contributions to the game, many didn't like her.
Why?
Because she brought millions of new individuals to the sport. Because she inspired those who had never tried women's basketball to take an interest in it. After realizing her star power, Nike said, "Because this is where the future is headed."